Hi. Uh, Thanks for joining. I'm waiting for people to join, so this first 5 minutes will be little um, waiting for people, right? So I'm waiting for the candidate to join, Mrs. Priyara. These 5 minutes will be awkward, can be awkward. I'll describe my agenda for this session. I'm enabling this session for an SPM role, Senior Product Manager role, with games to win. Okay, and this is going to be fun. I have prepared some questions, so let's see how it goes. And that's all I have to say for now. Maybe I can keep it on mute for some time. Hi.
Yeah. So able to see me or background is good or do I need to change?
No, that sounds perfectly fine.
Fine. Okay.
Thank you for joining before time.
Yeah. So seems like my cam, some flickering kind of thing is coming. You're experiencing the same?
There is some, and I am sure there was some in my background. I tried to manage that with some lightning and some angle changes, but that is fine. We'll manage with that. No issues.
Okay. Okay. Because I can see that
I
some
understand there is some flickering. I understand there is some flickering.
not sure why. Maybe because of the camera or not sure.
Yeah. Never mind. We are here. So let's use the time for something productive, huh?
Yep.
For the
Yep.
agenda-based conversation, right?
Yes.
Um, Time is not 11 yet, but we can start 2 minutes early, right? That's fine. Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, let me introduce myself. I am Hariom Vashisht. I am enabling this senior product manager role opportunity with the games to win. Okay, so assume
Mhm.
that your this next 45 minutes, right, will be screened by someone senior at let's say games to win, right? You have
Okay.
this time to express yourself. You can maybe ask some questions, but this is just to express yourself. Maybe I may not be able to actually answer your questions, right?
Agree.
So
Agree.
yeah, next 5 minutes are yours. Take your time. I will not interrupt you, and I will even start a counter to not speak between until 5 minutes.
Got it. So you want me to introduce myself, Hari?
Yeah, take your 5 minutes as you wish.
Yeah, okay. So good day, Hari. Good day to everyone who are like watching the live stream or watching it later or checking it through LinkedIn, right? So I am Priyarha here. So having 6 years of experience in semiconductor domain as a validation engineer now. So currently I'm at my mid-level in the career, and my future aspirations were to become a managerial role, a management role. So that is what my long term goal is. And currently, day to day, in my day to day life, along with my work responsibilities and family, right, I'm enhancing myself in a skill set level in order to occupy my talent and inculcate my skills with my long term goal, that is a managerial role actually. So this is a short and quick intro about me, Hari. So by the way, a heartful thanks for you for giving me this opportunity and giving me this platform to express my goals and dreams and ambitions as well, and walking through this interview and expressing it clearly actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have
so
four
I'm
more minutes. You have 4 more minutes. You can, tell about your journey also, or you can tell about your skills, your main areas, or core skills, whatever you want to talk about.
yeah, so while coming to my journey, right, so I was like started as a fresher in the year of 2017, like everyone else who starts their career, right? So from that I just started climbing the corporate ladder by like setting a clear set of goals. So previously I was in a service based company. So 2 years back I just got placed into my dream company, and now from like since 2 years, right, currently I'm in an enthusiastic role where my day-to-day responsibilities include a technical enhancement and a leadership as well. So it's a hand-in-hand role currently what I am serving here. And while coming to my core and main areas were processor related and semiconductor related. So while coming to a processor, I have experience in validating the different domains and technologies of client processor and the server, nothing but the data center processors, which are having x86 architecture. And like will the features like firmware, BIOS, power and performance. So these are my core skills which I'll end up doing day by day in my roles and
Uh,
responsibilities
I'm
actually.
sorry. 1 second.
Yeah.
You hear the sound?
No, everything is fine.
There's an alarm sound beeping at.
No, that's not from my laptop actually.
You don't even hear a sound?
No hurry.
I'm sorry. Give me 1 minute. I'm not able to identify where it is coming from.
Okay, okay.
Uh, which
But for
browser?
sure, it's not from my laptop, so I'm closing the WhatsApp tab as well.
Okay. Now I don't have the sound. But
Okay.
anyway, please continue. Sorry for interruption.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, so like while we are talking about my main skills, right? I just informed you that I'm having a validation experience in terms of feature validation of data center processor and client server processors and the main laptop desktop processors actually. And into you people have heard, right? It's a firmware BIOS. We have different domains and different technologies where my expertise lies in BIOS firmware validation along with power and performance domain and power management domain actually. So, like, yeah, Hari. So many people will have, see, we have only two. When we are in a corporate, we have only two kind of ambitions or goals. Either one, go in a technical role, become a principal engineer or a architect, and build up the new projects and provide the blueprint for the new products and projects, or a create patent. That is a one level of one shift of a long term goal for anyone to like sustain and look for a career aspirations in a corporate world. Either it
Sure.
may be a semiconductor domain or either it may be a pure software or whatever it may be,
Yeah.
like irrespective of technologies actually.
Yes.
But like the other side, right, so like we have a phrase like every coin has a two faces. Similarly, one is a technical phase of a candidate and the other one was a managerial. So now, while coming to me, what makes me a kick while logging in and while logging out is managing a group of people and we're unblocking them by providing the right content and right solution for their fixes and issues actually. And that makes me like feel inspirable because what I believe is like a leader is someone who is not like dominant or that. Okay, a leader is someone who should be empathetic and who are having a feature like loyalty. So if we see, right, to cook a something like example, to cook a biryani, we'll have some ingredients, right? We should have a basmati rice, we should have a masala, we should have chicken, right? So like comparing with the same live example, right, to become a leader or to become a managerial position or a manager, right, two key ingredients one should hold accountable is one is empathetic and two is being loyal to our employees or the folks who are reporting to us. So I'm pretty much clear about how the management principles has to be, and everyone has their own flexibility and way of working, right? But
Hmm.
what I kept these two things in my mind was like, yeah, if I'm became a manager, if I'm into a managerial or leadership position, I
Hmm.
have to be empathy and I should possess a loyal ingredient. So if I'm ready and if I inculcate these two qualities within my personal aspiration, right, then definitely I can manage people well better and by understanding them. Because as a leader or as a manager, we need to put our leg into employees shoe and understand how comfortable they are while walking into their career actually.
Sure,
So
sure.
this is like my skill set, my aspirations, Hari, actually.
Interesting, interesting. Uh, so let us dive more deeper into the aspects of product management.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, you are aspiring to be a product manager, right?
Yes.
That's what that's what I'm understanding.
Correct.
If I understand that right, you have worked with some consumer products before. If I understand that right,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
right?
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about those consumer-based products. One story with an example of how the end-to-end life cycle of a product management went there.
So in that, right, so I worked for a product called laptops. Okay. So if you see the laptop, the processor which I currently worked was accountable enough to provide the processor capacity features to its customers like Dell, Lenovo, and Microsoft. So we need to develop the features whatever the customer have required, like the prerequisite kind of thing when we start the product, and by inculcating the features whatever the customer have asked us, we need to procure it, we need to enable it, establish it, we have to finish our designing part, and then coming to the silicon part and validating it, then releasing it into the customer's hand so that customer is going to release it into the market. So while doing this journey, right, so basically my role will be in the part of second half actually. Like it's a coming of a post silicon when the IC turned out as is like a processor, when the FPGA, like I mean the chips, like the integrated chips coming into as a post silicon, like a silicon kind of a integrated chip into our hand, right? Okay. So the second half holds my responsibility and accountability in terms of designing and developing the test plan and monitoring and allocating the engineers, sufficient engineers with the right proven skill set in terms of hiring, recruiting, and managing them, like the way how the entire product is getting validated and releasing the firmware and releasing the product into the hands of the customer actually. So this is what my kind of experience I'm having actually in my previous categories. And
Okay.
there were cases where whatever the set of features we have included and provided it as a firmware, or we have provided it as an entire silicon or entire product, right, we have a situations where there were issues where we haven't encountered in our environment, but still our customer faces it in a real time environment. So that we will call it as OOBs and CCBs. So those they will come back. Okay, we'll have a technical paper for that, and then again we will revisit the test content. Again, we need to alarm that, and we have to make sure that for the next generation projects or the products which we are going to release it to our predominant customers, we'll ensure that that feature, whatever the bug escape analysis or whatever the real time issues what our customer is facing, we'll make sure that next term onwards, next cycle onwards, we can't able to escape it within like a lean kind of thing actually. So this
Right.
is what the kind of experience I'm having.
Okay. I want to understand more. So when you are building this product, right, the
Hmm.
feedback you get from the actual user, it might
Correct.
take
So
very
usually,
long time.
yeah, so it's like very long actually. So first user uses the laptop. Let's say display frequency. Best example, let's see. The
Right.
one which we experienced while joining it, right? So let us
Right.
say a user complained to it's a laptop company like a HP or Dell or Microsoft. They have
Right.
write the customer support that this is the issue. This is what how sporadically I'm experiencing it. Okay.
Right.
So then the particular customer will check the feature map, whatever we have provided to them, which means whether that is an expected issue or whether it is not expected issue. Whether if it is a expected issue, definitely we will provide the technical workaround to escape that, to remove that issue. Okay, it is not an expected one. So if it is not an expected one, then what they'll do, definitely the customer will again come back to us stating that by using your processor, by using your motherboard or whatever the product which we are handing over them, right? By using this like the same set of things, we are facing this. Then we will write a technical paper on top of it, what could be the cause, what is the hardware level issue, what is the register level issue, what is the fix we required from the firmware level or software level, or even from the register level, any buffer, any rework, any jumper settings, any kind of whatever patch we can able to do and fix the issue for a temporary basis for that product itself. Because once the entire product was done and launched, we can't again take it back and implement this feature again from the scratch, and because the entire environment will get impacted and changed. So for the current situation, we'll do a patch up kind of thing where users won't get it with the current generation, but we'll make sure that this issue we'll keep it in our mind, and for the next upcoming products or the projects what we are launching to our customers, we'll make sure this won't be a repeatable, and not even the this single particular issue, the issue which comes along with this feature, like display means obviously video, audio,
Okay,
camera.
let me interrupt you there. We'll try to use this time little more
Yep.
in a focused way, right?
Yep.
So you have some experience of resolving customer problems. That's what I
Yes.
understand.
Yes.
Um, what was the duration of you getting an issue and so resolving it, and actually, so when you actually resolve an issue in an chipset, right? It might be taking 6 months or 1 year. That's what I understand.
Yeah, so there is no timeline like minimum or maximum, that basic, that based on the criticality of the issue actually,
Right.
Hari.
So give me your
So if,
experience.
let us see if it is it's a kind of a code change or code implementation by using the firmware.
Give me an
Yeah.
example of real issue that you resolved and implemented on a real laptop, let's say.
A real laptop, no, like recently on a data center we have implemented it actually.
Yes.
So
Tell me about
we, yeah, so we found one issue, okay, where customer is getting it, and then we got the feedback back from the customer, and then we tried to replicate it, we tried to develop it in our environment, then hopefully and successfully, right, we can able to replicate it in our environment. Then immediately what we have done is we have provided the fix, we have provided the change in the firmware level. So for us to get the feedback and to get the issue from the customer, to building a firmware and testing again it in our environment and providing a solution and releasing the firmware patch directly to the customer again, it took almost 6 months for us. It's just a matter of everyone will think it's a firmware patch, but since I hold the pain internally, right, I can know why that 6 months we took a time to give a fix actually.
right, right.
Yeah.
So let me try to tell you another side of, uh, or maybe let's talk about your experience, right? So you said you have 6 years of experience. In
Yes.
last 2 years, you have been working with your dream word company, right?
Yes. Yes.
What was the company name?
Intel. I works for
Sorry.
Intel.
Yeah, you worked in India. You can tell me if the question is irrelevant. So before that, tell me a little bit about your experience before that.
So before that, like as I said, right. So currently, whatever the position I'm having, right. So previously, I used to work for Intel client actually with the UST Global Tech Mahindra Serium Systems as a contract employee, like a client location deployed employee.
Yeah.
So there, my day-to-day responsibilities will be limited only. It's just like a going and whatever the set of test cases are allocated and working it and getting it done, log out, come
Hmm.
back, that's it. So it's a kind of very there is no broad way of exploring things, to be frank. So
Okay.
that's what it made me to explore job at Intel, to understand and to provide my insights on the semiconductor industry whatever I can by using my knowledge and intelligence actually.
Yeah. So the role we are talking about here in the last few things, right? The senior product manager role with Games to Win.
Okay.
I'm assuming you have been through the JD,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
right? Uh, have you researched about the company also, the Games to Win?
No, but games to win I haven't researched, but we have its owner, like CEO or someone we have, right? So sorry for that, I haven't remembered his
Fine,
name.
fine.
I know him before actually. By the
Yeah.
time you posted this info, right? Since I follow him, then I
Uh,
got your LinkedIn post actually.
right, right.
So
I'll
when
tell
I,
you what.
Yeah, I have seen his profile. He mentioned in his profile that Disney owned his, like Disney
Right,
acquired his company,
right.
right? So that made me alarmed actually. So I had his profile in my mind actually.
Interesting, interesting. So let me
Yeah.
tell you about the company and a little bit about the role.
Okay. Okay.
The Games to Win company is a mobile gaming company.
Okay.
It has majorly two kind of games. The dress up games. If you, so I don't have the game in my phone. The dress up games, there's a tune in front of you. You, as a kid or as a player,
Hmm.
you change. You give them. You dress up those candidates, right? The toys.
Okay.
Um, so there's virtual currency in the game.
Okay.
Uh, it's mostly on phone, right? And basically a software that gets updated every weeks. That's the sprint cycle people follow in these software development organizations, right? So
Okay.
it's not a 6 months durations period. And as a product managers, what we do also do is that we try to measure the impact of our actions. We try to find the root cause of the issue. We try to define the problem we are trying to resolve, right?
Got it.
So starting from, let's say, the monetization, or the growth of actually getting the app downloaded at the users, and when they download, we'll try to look at the retention, right? So there's a basic framework, right? AARRR, I think its name is Pirate Matrix, right? Have you heard
Okay.
about that?
No.
Fine. So acquisition, activation, retention, revenue, and there's one more term I don't know.
Okay.
So we try to look at when people actually how we get the app actually acquired by the users, right? So let's
Okay.
say 5,000 people are actually downloading the app every day.
Okay.
That's a huge number, right?
Yes.
Now
Yes.
acquisition also talks about retention, because if 5,000 are downloading today, if we are not able to retain even 50% of them in day 7, in 7 days from now, right, we are losing a lot of customers every day. uh,
Agree, agree.
uh,
And let me provide me insights on this. I have a query here. Sorry to stop you. So, do we have any plan of providing any advertisement while playing the game, or how it will be?
yeah, there is. So for revenue, that's one of the models of revenue in the app. There's
Mm-hmm.
a ad revenue, banner kind of models, right?
Mm-hmm.
After there's also virtual currency. You can buy some coins and to buy the cars or the dresses, right? That's what.
Agree, agree. Well, for retention and all, right? I had a plan actually. So I just heard it's a games kind of my role for there is like example. I'm just telling
Yeah, yeah,
involving
please,
me
please share, please
currently.
share. This is your time to express.
Yeah, yeah. So what I'm thinking is, let us take the burning topics in India. Okay, not even in India, entire world. One
Yeah.
burning is farming, right? So I had an ideology that what if we develop a game which have a guideline of
Okay.
a farming
Okay.
where let us see a kid or a younger one also or elder one also can sit and install it and play. Let us see, I am familiar with the paddy growing. Okay, I'll go and select paddy like a game. Okay, the other who are familiar, they will select the corn farming. Now what we can make the people interesting and what we can do in terms of retention is, while playing it, let us keep a milestones. Okay, let's say if you earn 1,000 coins, or if you sell like 1,000 paddy bags or 1,000 corn bags within the game. Okay, when we have a milestone, okay, what we can do is let us put it in a hard level, not like 100 paddy or 200. If it is 1,000 or 2,000 kind of milestone, if we hold there, we'll do a thing like we can promote our game like a gaming application by sending the original users a small plant which roughly charges 100 rupees to their home.
Okay.
Now by doing this, what we'll do is after sending the pot to their home, it maybe it is for a kid or maybe it is for a younger or a older or an adult, whatever the irrespective of age. While sending them that, we'll send a greeting card along with that. like asking us to tag in the Twitter, LinkedIn, and other social websites itself. So by this we will get like we can
Okay,
resolve the
let me
retention
interrupt.
problem.
Let me
And
interrupt you. Sorry. So assume that this is the product you want to build
correct.
as a product manager, right?
Yes, yes,
Assume you are working with games to win. You
yes.
have all the resources you need, all the money you need, all the everything you need.
Mm-hmm.
What will be the first thing that you will do to build this product?
First, as you said, we have team, technical team, and we have.
No, you have everything. So you can ask, I mean, okay, sorry. You can ask
Okay,
your questions or you can structure your thoughts. Take your time.
okay,
What is the
okay.
first
So,
thing you
what
will
is the
do to
start
build this
I'll do?
product? Yes.
Okay, okay. So first I will have a blueprint, whatever the available kind of agricultural aspects we can inculcate in this. So that is the first thing I'll do.
Okay,
And
sorry.
second thing, yeah.
Structure your answer into three parts.
Hmm.
What you, what will you do at the first, or
Hmm.
let's say you have been given this. Okay, right. Structure
Hmm.
your answer. I mean, take your time. I will.
Okay.
I request you to
I
take
have,
maybe, yeah, paper and pen, right?
yeah, yeah.
Uh, write down three pointers that you will take action on making this product. When
Okay.
you can ask the questions again.
Yeah, sure.
The question is, what will you do, or yeah, what will you do to build this product you have in your mind?
Yeah, sure.
You have all the resources you need.
Yeah. Just give me a moment. I'm
Yeah,
just
take your
thinking.
time. Let's take 30 more seconds for this.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Hari, I'm ready actually.
Sure, sure, sure.
Okay, so let's see this farming game. Okay, this agricultural related gaming app. Okay, it's my own thought. So I'll do this in three steps. Okay, first is a blueprint, where blueprint has multiple stages of my planning related and implementation. So when I
Sure.
talk about blueprint, it's about my planning and implementation and the roadmap of this gaming app. While coming to the I'll come back again and I'll
Yeah,
explain
yeah,
each of
yeah, yeah.
each. Second step is marketing and promoting. It's a kind of pre-launch promotion.
Okay.
Okay. If you see, we have a movies like Bahubali, Triple R. Everyone is famous with these movies, right? In India. So
Yeah,
how they are creating a buzz before the like a movie release, correct?
yeah.
So the same protocol, the same methodology kind of promotions, we will take it into the market within our available monetization with the available budget. Okay. And I have written the like plan for that also.
Yeah.
And final one was the launching, and last but not least was retention reach. Okay, because even if we are 200% sure and successful about 1 2 3, which is blueprint, marketing and launching, the final one, which is retention and reach, holds the maximum market capacity, correct? So now while coming to the blueprint, so in the plan of blueprint, I'll create a team structure. which means who is going to be a developer, who is going to be a QA department, who is going to be a merging it, who is going to work on GUI, who is going to work on the graphical completely, the way the paddy looks, the designing, 3D designing. Because if you see, we have different cadre people. Not everyone uses iPhone, not everyone uses Samsung premium phones, and also we have to like have a team member. It's not even developing the game. We should have a separate folks who will concentrated on the 3D aspects and the 2D aspects and the resolution aspects as well, based on the mobile capability and capacity. So
Can I,
when the user downloads it from the Play Store, he should have an insight that okay, this game is available as per the compatibility of my mobile display. Okay, let me check my mobile's capacity. Yeah, mine is iPhone. I can use it with 2160 HD. So he will select that role. I mean that kind of display streaming. And now here is a trick. We have to ensure that whoever select the highest resolution, which means they are using the premium phones, which means when compared to others, they hold a little kind of rich kind of money kind. Correct.
yeah,
So
I get your
now,
point.
yeah. So now what we have to do is we have to optimize our advertisements based upon the display clarity, which means it's not the same ad which we are launching for the
I'm
480
sorry.
pixel.
I have this thought.
Mhm.
Um, I think you missed the core of taking the step one.
Okay.
Did you validate your idea? Is it really useful? Is it worth it? Is it really solving a problem? Did you
Uh,
like
no,
think about
actually, my
research?
idea is not a solution for any problem, right? So it's a new idea actually. Let
Yeah.
us see. We have a games like PUBG and Game of Thrones and some like XYZ, right? Some
Okay.
like fantasy games, cooking games, and all. Among all the things, ours should stand out, right? To
Okay.
stand out, the way how we are promoting, the way how we are
Okay.
implementing.
Let us talk about the audience of the play game, right?
Okay, okay, okay.
Every product has a audience, user base,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Who
yes.
will be your target audience?
All age groups.
Okay, tell me more about this.
Yeah, let us see. I'll tell you different. Let us see a 8 to 10 year old kid.
Hmm.
Okay, so they love chocolates. So what we have to implement is the coca farming, right? You're getting my point, right? Example, I'm
Right.
telling. I have picked up coca
Yes.
among the all the available vegetables, the coca farming, because 8 to 10 years is the relevant age for the people to start using the mobiles and start like providing their time in gaming. Let
Right.
us see 50 plus or 60 plus people, maybe our mothers or our grandmothers or grandfathers. Okay, so we have to streamline the GUI based upon the age. While installing itself, we have to ask them their age, because the GUI which we provide for 8 to 10 can't be usable for the 50 plus 60 plus our fathers and grandfathers,
I'm
because
sorry.
we have
I'm
to GUI, graphical user
Yes,
interface.
yes, we have it. But in games, the GUI doesn't change based on the age, right?
No, we will do that. That is
Have you
what I'm
seen,
sending. That is what I'm
have you
telling
seen
you.
that ever happening in the industry?
That's what we have to stand out, right? It has
Which
to
is
be
why.
easy.
But
Let us
let's try
see.
to understand. Let's try to understand the reality. When we
Okay.
build a game, right, there are thousands of screens.
Okay.
Have you been through wireframing or mockup in your life career?
No, no, no.
Right. That's one of the responsibilities of a product manager, right?
Okay.
So while doing those thousands of screens, each
Mm.
screen has a lot of controls. Needs to be
Agree.
defined very clearly what will happen when somebody taps there. That's
Mm-hmm. That will
now
be.
right. Now I'm confidently saying that changing the game based on the age group, completely changing the GUI, right, is technically almost like not asking the right thing.
No, no, no. It's not completely. It's
I
like see, let us see. If we know English, we know what
right,
has to be done. We know what we'll click and again go to some page, go to some page, go.
right,
So
right.
that plugins and all that intermediate like steppings and all, we are capable enough to understand. Even the younger kids as well. But that not the same case for the 50 plus, 60 plus people.
Okay,
So
okay, got your
now,
point.
yeah, let us see our like our father or our grandfather plays a game.
Hmm.
Okay. Let us see. Now he or she can tell to his friends through
mm,
phone or through their group meeting and all. They can tell, yeah, my daughter or my granddaughter gave me a tab. In that, this game is there. This is related to farming. It is quite easy. We can we can take 1 or 2 days to get the paddy cropped, grown, cut, sell it.
I
So
understand.
that is how it's kind of like word of mouth marketing also will get. See, by promoting it from that segment, right, word of mouth, it will get spread like anything. And that word of spreading marketing kind of strategy will help us by getting the targeted audience of younger people from 8 to 18 or 8 to 28 people. You're
Right.
getting my point, right? So
I
in
get your
all,
point. So there are
correct.
some assumptions that you feel
Hmm.
if we target that age group and in that way, we
Hmm.
will go viral.
Hmm.
We will be able to reach some good user base quickly.
Correct,
That's what
correct,
you're saying.
correct, correct.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Let's change maybe.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So
let's change
this.
the. Okay, you please take your 2 minutes more.
Yeah, yeah. So this comes under, like as I said, right? First blueprint means the team structure, and in that I'll provide my insights and my roadmap, and we'll see whether any option of taking any patent in our ideas or in the game, the methodologies what we are implementing. If any chance of taking patent, yes, we can file for it. So that is the one thing. And what is the ETA? Like, what is the estimated time for the arrival of our game to be ready in order to launch it into our product, like in a wider audience or in the customer market. Okay, so and in addition to that, we will collect the launching ideas from our own team members. Let us say like there are people who are younger than me, who are experienced than me, so they will pull different ideas for us for the launching and pre-marketing and
Yeah.
promotional, right? We have to inculcate all of their ideas together and let us rephrase it and reterm it, and then start the second stage after a blueprint. Once the product was ready, like almost ready, like 70 to 80% it was ready, we should not wait for till 100% ready, then I will test, then I will release. No,
Yeah. Yeah.
by the time it was ready to launch, people should get a create a buzz about it, and they have to be ready with their mobile phones. The moment we launch, they have to install and play. That is how we have to create. That's what the second step called marketing, which is nothing but promotions. We can use most of the schools, government schools, private schools, in order to launch it, because we will tell them that there are a milestone. If you grow 1,000 paddy bags, if you grow 1,000 cocoa bags or corn bags, whatever farming you do, vegetable farming, fruit farming, grapes, dragon fruit, anjeer, whatever farming you will do here, okay, for every milestone, for every 1,000 or for every 500, you will receive a plant as a complimentary from our gaming application. So it was not solved or it was not closed. Okay, when the plant grows, right, again we will ask them to tweet it. See, let us see, we gave it when it was small.
Is it like
Okay,
a Farmville? Is it like a Farmville? Have you played Farmville game?
yeah, but it was not like that. It's a different.
What is
It,
different exactly?
uh, the way we select which seed we want, when we have to sow, what are the natural and organic items, we will have the organic compost, we have to provide it instead of fertilizers and all. We should not use that. So through this, we can promote the natural and organic farming, and whatever the methodologies or the manual we are having, right, the little kids can take our manuals as a reference, and they can simply sow the seeds in their home, and give it back to us also, like a challenge back to us also. So as I said, right, the plant we will send, let us see, we have to send them a fast growing plant. So then only let us see, if we send a small plant which is a 3 inch to one a kid, and after a month it grown into some 15 20 inch. Okay, again they will repost it. Now you see the same user, two different posts, one receiving the thing, second it was growing. And
I
one more challenge is, while sending the small plant, we have to send them small seeds also, and providing the awareness also. By this we will get the marketing advertisement. Okay, and the seeds, right, we should not buy from our pocket. We have like a lot number of natural and organic farming companies who are having their seeds, right? So for them it's a free publicity, for us it's a marketing. We have to involve everyone into the market strategy, So it will be like win and win situation for both of us actually.
Interesting, interesting.
Correct?
Yeah, I think I get a bigger picture of your ideas, right?
Yes.
So what
Yep.
I understand in my last 6 years of experience as a product manager,
Hmm.
the basic skill required to express yourself is documentation,
Correct.
right?
Agree.
Whatever
Agree.
we have in our mind,
Presentation.
if
Yeah.
we should be able to convey that this is what we want, and this is how we want, and this is the goal, right?
Correct. Correct.
So if I
Correct.
would like to ask you, have you been through, have you taken the responsibility of documentation in your career?
Yes, while as I said, right, I have to provide a test cases, test strategy. What is the billing I'll take? What are the vendors I want? How many employees I want? So everything I have to put in a presentation mode, where
Oh.
the targeted audience are like almost 40 plus sometimes. There
Hmm.
was sometimes 10 plus 20 plus, and most of the times I have 40 plus. We have our internal forum
Yeah.
where people from other cross geo locations also tend to look into the test strategy or plan, whatever I have created within the budget and within the resources, how
Yeah.
well I have mapped and equipped it. So I have to prepare a presentation for that in terms
That's
of
what. Mhm.
yeah, kind of demo. Correct, correct.
Right. Okay. Quick questions around product management, right?
Yes,
So if you understand, you understand the word wireframing, right? What is that you we want to see at the end at the phone user base, right? Let's say.
correct,
So
correct.
as a activity, maybe in real interviews that happens, right?
Hmm.
You will be asked to take some time, or you can come back tomorrow. Real submission.
Product management, yeah.
Build a 5 screen or 10 screen prototype of the thing you want to build, right? That's how it happens. There are
Correct.
some available tools, design tools, Figma and all. Learning the tool is not really important if you know what you really want to do, right? So
The
let's say,
implementation matters actually.
right. So if you are able to draw the things on paper, that makes the
Most
structure ready, right? Then you can
correct,
implement it anywhere.
correct.
We can even do wireframing on MS Word.
Mhm. Correct, agree.
Putting the blocks ready.
Yes,
Right. What
yes.
else? About this role. So we have talked about the games to win. What their requirement was, I think the JD says requires 7 years of product management experience, right?
Okay,
That's what one of them was. The other requirement was some experience with I would say very clearly wireframing, right?
okay,
I actually have this JD open in my other screen.
okay,
So it says exceptional data analytics skills. Can we talk
okay.
about your data analytics skills of at your end?
Uh, Professionally, I haven't done any course in terms of data analytics or a kind of
Not the
data
course,
fact.
but experience, like any knowledge or any thoughts around data analytics.
Yeah, in like day to day, I'll use it in Word document, Excel sheet. I'll use the table contents, and I'll do a pie charts, block charts by representing the progress in terms of execution perspective or in terms of work done. That is the one way. And while coming to the other one is a PowerPoint presentation where I'll project a plan within 5 slides, 10 slides, including the backup with a clear description of that.
Let me tell you, share some picture about data analytics of let's say an Android app,
Hmm.
right? There's a Google Analytics system that tells you how many people actually visited some page from where people were downloading the app, right? Where from the funnel starts. My
Hmm.
light just went off. 1 second. Right. Oh, it's out of batteries, I think. So, what was there? Yeah, there are analytics tools like Mixpanel, CleverTap, um, and Google Analytics Firebase, which tell you how many people downloaded app, how many people are currently using today, what is the daily active user base since last 10 days. You can filter the data based on your requirements. You can check out the spikes if something happened on particular day. Let's say it was a new year day and too many people started using your app to send good morning messages, right? Or
Got it.
people started did not send some any message on, let's say, 1st January. We can look at the data and figure out if they were able to, what was the issue, right? We try to figure out the root cause analysis from there. Have
Yes.
you heard of the term root cause analysis?
That's what I said, right? It's coming back from the customer view.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we try to figure out what happened from there. We try to guess the best case to what might have happened behind the data, and we try to ask more questions from there, like what actually happened, why actually happened, then why it had happened, right? Some assumptions behind data, like what might have happened. Let me try to ask some last questions. Maybe it has been 45 minutes we have been running this session.
Yeah.
Maybe you can share some story about leadership skills that you share happened in your career, and you were able to minimize a communication gap or maybe resolve a conflict by yourself in your
Okay.
team.
Okay. Okay. So, when I aspire to become a managerial or a leadership role, okay.
Sorry. I'm talking about. I'm trying to ask you the some previous experience where you were able to showcase your leadership skills in or and maybe to resolve a conflict or
Yeah,
in
yeah.
general.
Always, right? There is a conflict between vendor and the client. Agree?
Right.
Between a product-based company which gives a piece of work to the service-based company. So,
Right.
service-based company tries to achieve the expectations as per client, right?
Right.
So
Right.
when I'm part of my current job, right? So there were a couple of communication flaws. There were a couple of gaps between the communication within the client requirements versus the results what service based people who got deployed to do a piece of work. Okay, day one. Okay, when I was put into this role, it's I said right. It's a technical plus a leadership role. It's a kind of how it go as a hand in hand. Okay,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
from the like day one when I was got this opportunity and deployed into this situation, right?
Uh-huh.
First, what I have done is I have collected, I went back to my management and collected the info, collected the requirements, what it is pretty much looking, what is the
Mm,
quality aspects, what is the quantity aspects. I have made a note. Oh,
mm,
I kept it aside. And now
mm,
I went back to the service based folks who are providing us the supports in terms of doing a test case or test content execution and giving us the results back.
mm,
So I went and talked to their management as well as and the people who are working straight away on the piece of work. I have
mm.
scheduled a meeting separately because when a manager is there, a person can't spoke frankly, right?
Very
That's
true.
why. That's why what I have done is for the service-based managers we will have, right? I have scheduled separate meeting from them and understood their scope. What are their dues? What are their capabilities?
Mm,
And second meeting I have scheduled with the folks, we will call them as execution engineers who are responsible for day-to-day activities, whatever the piece of task we are giving.
mm,
Second step, what I have done, I have scheduled a call with them also. Now, once everything was done, I collected insights from my management, from the vendor management, and from the folks who are working with me to get my piece of job done. So
yeah.
this three, right? I have mapped it. What is the organizational requirements versus what they are doing currently.
Right.
Then I went back and I talked to their management, which is our vendor management. I talked to their manager that, see, this is what happened till past. Leave it. Whatever happened, happened for the best. Let us learn from the experiences. And
Mm,
my way of working lifestyle is different
mm,
because I'll listen first, then only I'll talk, then only I'll comment my opinion. So I have heard, I listened many stories, many user cases, many problems from your management side as well as and from your engineering background, like the people who works with us as well. So now to inculcate everything and feedback, this is what happened, forgot this is what my expectations, let us streamline this step by step a roadmap. I have provided roadmap to their managers in terms of engineers appointment for the piece of work allocation, in terms of budget, in terms of quality, in terms of when the build has to be done, testing everything has to be done and reports has to send me back. That is what the goal kind of thing I have clearly communicated to their management. Now coming to these engineers, like we should show some pity on them because they will think that it's not interesting from their end because log in, do some 10-15 test cases, log out won't create some interesting. Okay, but when we went back and talked to them, provide them their role and their importance and in testing the product, I used to go and tell, hey, the work which you are doing is not limited to today. Whatever you're working now is going to release in the market in the next quarter. Once it's released into the market, you can proudly tell that with this processor, this feature, I'm proudly going to, I have validated this feature. You can tell that way, right? So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is how I have motivated them, because they were in their narrow mindset that okay, only login, 10 test cases. I have provided them the insight of the project, and I have provided them the customer market, what they are looking, how many customers they are looking, what aspects they are looking. So I made some interest of working environment with the people who reports to me actually. So this is how I have cleared the communication between my I was a client, like I'm a client for some 2 3 vendors actually. So that's how I cleared the communication gap versus provide excuse me excuse me provided the insights and framed the roadmap as and when I started to what could be the next extent of the project. So that is how
Interesting.
I have pipelined the connection between our expectations versus their performance.
Interesting. So what I understand is that you tried to understand the picture first, then
Correct.
you communicated the expectations to set their expectations very clearly. Like this is what happened. This is how we'll take it forward, and you
Correct.
tried to motivate the engineers also to keep them on track. Help
Correct.
them bring the right solution, right? And
Because
engage them.
a key ingredient along with empathy and loyalty is inspiration. A leader has to inspire his folks. Then only with one point of inspiration, they will start working on it, right? It's
Perfect.
not about the job. It's not about the salary they are getting. They should
Yeah,
have some enthu, right? To log in, to work, to do our work in a quality manner, right?
makes sense. Perfect. So
Yep.
I think it's been 51 minutes since we started.
Yep.
Uh, I hope you got enough time to express yourself, your thoughts. Maybe you can take some more time after the session to go through the session again to experience your own conversation, right?
Yes.
Um, so let's try to conclude from here. It was a good time, good conversation. I think I've been able to keep this session on the focus enough, right? That was
Correct.
my agenda. If you have any questions before we conclude, let me know.
No, thanks for your time actually and the opportunity as well, Hari.
Thanks, Priyarha, right? Sorry,
Yarha.
Priyarha.
Yes.
That's how we pronounce. Um, so you can use last 1 more minute to express yourself again, maybe, and we'll conclude. If
No,
you,
that's okay. Yeah,
that's
I'm
okay.
done from my
Perfect.
end. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
thank you for your time. I hope I was able to make the good best use of the time. Let's keep in touch and have a good day.
Yeah. Thank you, Hari.
Thanks, Miss.